Hey guys, and welcome to the first episode of Dungeons 2. Alright, we're going to start a new game, single-player campaign. The battle for King's Ending. It was time. The troops of the absolute evil had driven the Alliance back to their capital, King's Ending. The time for the final battle had arrived. Prepare to destroy the Alliance, and with it, all good in the land once and for all. Menacing. Alright, I like you. Alright, so let's just get into the game and see if it's worth our time.
Once upon a time there was a kingdom full of flowers and rainbows, where the sun shone all the time and there was loads of that goody-goody, lovey-dovey good people stuff going on. There, the alliance of abominably good people lived in unearned wealth and prosperity. But there was a path leading to a different place there. At the end of this path was a rock. There was a cave carved in this rock, in which the absolute evil lived. It wasn't a grubby, damp cave smelling of muck and mildew, but a deep, dark dungeon, so dark that even darkness itself was afraid of it.
Ooh.
It was home to numerous innocent monsters, who enjoyed a happy, contented existence, living in complete harmony with their environment. But time and again, the sickening, sweet-smelling good visited this underworld in search of treasure and experience points. Many monsters found this to be the death of them, but much worse, the absolute evil's treasures were being stolen. One day, just as a few more heroes had finished plundering its dungeon, the absolute evil decided it had had enough, and decided to do something new, something quite monstrous. Go to the surface. The Alliance tried to resist, but the approaching horde just flowed over them like an angry wave of axes, teeth, and bad breath. After numerous unrelenting battles, the absolute evil finally stood before the Alliance's capital, King's Ending. After countless battles, the forces of the absolute evil reached the Alliance capital, King's Ending. The laughable remnants of the forces of good had come here to make ready for the final battle. Evil would pay a high price indeed to storm those fortress walls, or so they thought. Suddenly, a rumble rose from deep within the earth. Stones burst asunder, revealing an ancient path into the depths. Out of the depths of Stygian darkness arises the invincible evil. With earth-shaking steps, the unstoppable evil began its trek towards the front. In the terribly improbable event that it may have forgotten how that works, a formidable help function has been provided. The presence of the absolute evil was also reflected in the land itself. Grass withered, and in places the ground tore open to reveal bubbling lava.
Oh, I see. I love the storytelling so far.
Even the forest could not withstand the aura of the ultimate evil, and beat a hasty retreat. A few of the Alliance units had entrenched themselves here. A determined absolute evil marched towards them in order to strike them down with its mighty weapon.
Ha! Die.
The absolute evil had discovered a medal. These legendary awards ensured a creature could be made even more powerful. Only one downside: the creature could only wear one at a time. Eyes ablaze with greed, the insidious evil gazed upon the blood-drenched battlefield. Here the last defenders of good would die, and an age of evil begin. Projectiles from the Alliance's catapults darkened the sky, but the Horde's fighting skills were at their best in darkness, if they
Just kind of let him go.
Defeating good was as easy as taking candy from a baby for the unstoppable evil.
The unstoppable evil. Oh, we got to go turn all this. I think it's already turned, but we got something over here.
And the absolute evil took yet another hero to the slaughtering block. The absolute evil destroyed the defenders' camp in the east with the greatest of ease. Now, only one tiny camp offers any resistance to the absurdly evil evil. And even that won't be able to hold out for much longer. Nothing and no one could stop the invincible evil.
Oh, there it is. Listen to the music change. It's from this balmy, evil... Then you come up here and it's like all flutes and whistles.
The absolute evil destroyed the defenders' camp in the west with the greatest of ease. The defenders in front of the city had been beaten to a pulp and defeated. Now the time had come to attack King's Ending. The final battle beckoned.
There we go.
The city gate was firmly barricaded by the Alliance's archers, but the absolute evil would not allow itself to be held up by such a ridiculous impediment. So, go get them! Destroy them now! Oh yes, sorry, stay in character. The absolute evil used its all-powerful magic to eliminate the archers and open the gate to the city.
And... oh, there's hotkeys, Q and E.
The absolute evil had a good long think, but at precisely that exact moment, it decided to act and to deploy its overwhelming magic powers.
What overwhelming magic powers? I'm lost, folks. What is this? Alright, these are all just his stats. Take care of the archers. Oh, I see.
Using its legend, wait for it, daring
That is cool.
powers, the absolute evil destroyed the impediment with ease and simultaneously eliminated a whole group of defenders. True story. The road to the capital was now clear. The absolute evil did not hesitate for even 1 nanosecond.
But we're going to make him a liar. Second and a half.
The insidious evil entered King's Ending. A small, pitiful group of defenders stood in its way. Suddenly, the doors of several houses in the city opened, and with a loud roar, defenders bore down on the rather surprised evil. An ambush.
We've got to kill these things before we get killed. That way they stop spawning. Damn! We was pretty
The
beat down,
invincible
too.
evil had crushed the defenders. King's Ending had been defeated.
Dun,
At
dun, dun,
least,
dun.
that's what it thought. Suddenly, the final heroes of the Alliance emerged from nowhere. Another ambush? But wait. This time it was different. Instead, the heroes raised their hands and started singing an incomprehensible chant. A magical ritual? This did not bode well. Well, actually, it bode the arrival of good things, great things, unless you happen to be the absolute evil.
Not bad, not bad. Somewhere in the depths of the dungeon, the ultimate evil awoke. It did not know what had happened nor why it had awoken, but it longed for revenge. So, that's where we started. Now we're coming to here. Let's give it a go. I'm getting this. That was
The
basic.
remaining heroes of the country joined forces and cast a powerful banishment spell. The absolute evil disappeared from sight with a threatening gesture, and a faint whispered, "I'll be back," coming from its lips. The absolute evil had been banished, and its essence shattered into several pieces. Its reign of terror had ended. The good people of the overworld rejoiced, and an era of peace began for the Alliance. The evil creatures were driven back into the underground, doomed to serve as cannon fodder for pleasure-seeking adventurers. Meanwhile, secreted away in the world's most inaccessible places, the last remains of the absolute evil were resting, never again to see the light of the overworld. Until today, that is. Somewhere deep under the earth, the ultimate evil awoke.
It's one of the best stories. I hope you guys are. Thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up button if you're liking it. Let me know.
And the hand of terror arose, controlled by the ultimate evil.
The hand of terror. Da 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 da.
Come on, hand of terror, arise, damn you! Methinks that exploring the surrounding area would be a sensible strategy. However, to do this, light would be required. Still not bright enough.
Brighter!
An old throne room was revealed by the light.
Oh,
The
yeah.
circumstances remained a mystery. The hand of terror flew through the throne room,
The hand
following
looks
each
great.
and every thought the ultimate evil had.
Look at the fingers.
After a few flying sessions, the ultimate evil was able to control the hand with ease. The time had come to call forth creatures who were completely devoted to it and would do its dirty work. Little snots were the dregs of each and every dungeon and spent their time taking care of it. The expansion-mad evil hired one snot on the spot.
All right, so these are spells. I'm just going over the UI real quick. We've got how much gold, our mana.
After very careful
Task.
consideration, the ultimate evil now decided to recruit a little snot.
He's going to get pissed off. There we go. Little snots, goblins, nagas, orcs, and trolls. There must be our units that we can have in the game. You can fill corridors back in again. However, you won't be able to close off any areas of the dungeon by doing this. Demolish uses function to demolish rooms, work units, traps, and doors. All right, and this is our spell. Looks like a spell list. This is toolboxes and beer barrels. So many beer barrels. I don't know what they are yet, but we will find out. Population points were 0 of 15. All right, how do we hire a snot? Let's click on the little tutorial button here. Hire a little snot. First of all, select your throne room by left-clicking in the room. Now select Hire Little Snot in the action window. Okay, so click on our throne room, this room right here. There we go, throne room. Throne room. And it's the hotkey, so we can hit B. So we're going to hire a
First
little snot.
appeared. It was completely ready to work in the dungeon and to crawl in the dust before the ultimate evil. Little snots were
Task
important
complete.
to the ultimate evil because they took care of many important little things, such as excavating new
bow
areas.
Bow
The
to me.
psionically gifted evil could sense the presence of something important that was buried to the south. It instructed its little snots to dig in that direction.
All right, let's check the next one. Population points. Even an evil genius such as yourself can only control a certain number of creatures. This is shown by the population points in the top. In the middle, if you have reached the maximum limit, you will not be able to hire any additional creatures unless you first dismiss one. You can do this by picking up the creature and throwing them into your... Okay, little textual error right there. But throw them into the pit in your throne room. Okay. So you can hire them, you grab them, throw them into this little pit right here, and they go away, and you can then hire something new. Fantastic. Something tells me this is going to be about excavation. It is. You can instruct your little snots to excavate areas in the dungeons. To do so, left-click on a tile or hold down the left mouse button to mark an entire area. Selecting an area, selecting an already selected area for a second time deselects it. Okay. So basic dungeon keeper.
As quick as a fart, the little snot made his way to the
Quick as a fart.
and began to dig.
As quick as a fart. All right, what does this say? Oh, okay. Exclamation just goes away.
Behold, the creatures of the overjoyed evil had apparently been much more industrious than it had thought. A great dungeon was revealed behind the wall. Everything was already in place. Doors, traps, a well-filled treasury. Treasury? And where, if you please, is this treasury? Oh well. One can't expect too much of these mindless little snots. First of all, some gold had to be dug out to make space for a treasury to be created. The hand of terror swiftly marked a few small gold veins so that the little snots could excavate them. As soon as a gold vein was selected, a little snot immediately set out to mine valuable gold for the greedy evil.
Oh, they just demolished them walls. Pop, pop, pop. Gold is just quick. All right, they're carrying it all to my throne room. I'm guessing you have to make an actual, treasury, which is probably what we'll end up doing here. Yes, I know there's stuff down here. I'm just not going down.
Once most of the gold had been mined, the hand of terror quickly created a treasury on the spot so that the precious metal could be safely stored.
Rooms. And I bet if I go here, it's going to tell me. Types of gold. Okay. You will come across two types of gold underground, gold veins and rich gold veins. Gold veins can be removed quickly, much in the same way as normal walls, and provide you with a quick boost of gold for a short period of time. Rich gold veins last a longer period of time, but only provide small amounts of gold each time. Well, that's kind of like Dungeon Keeper. If you remember, Dungeon Keeper had the infinity blocks that gave small amounts of gold, and you could use them forever. And then you had your gold walls, gold nuggets or whatever, ore in the walls that you could do. So that's an infinity block. All right, and I bet this one tells us how to do the treasury. I'm sorry, folks. I've got to intervene here for a second. I have read several, and I mean several, reviews about this game. Metacritic's got the game rated at 71%, which is really good. I mean, that's not great, but it's really good. Several others have given it 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. No 10s, no really 9s. I mean, it was like an 89 or something. I mean, the game has been reviewed fairly well. And then I went to IGN, and IGN gave it a 5.2. GameSpot, I believe, gave it a 6. And their major complaint was, there were two things that were the major complaints. One was the overworld part was too simplified, which in my opinion is never really a bad thing. I mean, the game is a Dungeon Keeper clone. The dungeoning and the building of a dungeon and all that stuff is where the main process is supposed to be built and delivered. And then the overworld is just kind of an afterthought. It's something that they added to be new, to be cool. Because if you know Delvers, if you've been following Delvers, Delvers is doing the same thing. Delvers has got their underworld where you dig and mine and all this other good stuff. And then they're going into their... they're adding right now. He's actually working on the overworld part, which will be the same kind of concept this has. So, but the second thing has been that they couldn't figure out how to do things. It would tell you to do something, but that the tutorial system was so bad that you didn't understand what to do. Now, I know that we're just starting. We're only 20 minutes into the game. But I have not had to even think about a single thing so far in this tutorial. It's you click down there and you click the question mark. It tells you exactly what to freaking do. The only trouble that we had was with that wall, and we figured that out in a matter of a minute, half a minute, and I bet you that there had been a question mark down here that I could have clicked on that I just didn't see because I didn't know. So maybe... initially, it should say, if you ever run into a problem, the complicated, tutorial system is, and then had an arrow pointing down to this. Maybe that would have made a little bit of a difference. But I figured it out. We've had about 10 minutes of story, maybe 15 minutes of story, and an actual 5 minutes of gameplay so far. So in 5 minutes of gameplay, I actually figured out that the tutorial system is down here. So I don't understand their complaint about that. So, okay, rant over. I don't know. I think that they chose the wrong guy to review this game. He says he was a great big Dungeon Keeper 2 fan and played it for years and blah, blah, blah. I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. We'll see. Maybe the game goes to shit, after, half an hour, 45 minutes, and it gets really complex. We will see. If at the end of this episode, though, or the end of the next couple episodes, if we're still not having any problems, I'm going to publicly tell you all to just completely berate that guy and tell him to learn how to review. Oops. I will edit that out maybe. But tell him to learn how to review games. Because it was a terrible review the way that he did it. He was bad talking. The game was, the dungeon part of it's okay, but the rest of it's just crap. And, I don't know. We'll see though. I'm having fun so far. I hope you are. So, end of the rant. Let's go. And that told me about building rooms. Hit R. Then you can go into the treasury and we can build a little treasury right there.
Evil mastered this task with flying colors. From
Back
now
to the
on,
game.
little snots could use the treasury to store mined gold. It was then at the greedy evil's disposal whenever more rooms needed to be built or new creatures recruited. Little snots were all well and good, but were too weak and cowardly to defend the dungeon. Since it was not able to defend itself, the ultimate evil would have to hire some orcs. But they would require food. Liquid food. Well, beer. So the next important thing to build was a brewery. And that would require some space to be created. The ultimate evil had the feeling that its servants were not really putting their backs into the work. Might a hearty slap from the hand of terror change that? The sadistic evil encouraged its creature to work a little faster, with a friendly but not at all gentle slap.
All right, you can also whack your units with the hand of terror in order to motivate them to work faster and emphasize the priority of a particular task. The unit you whacked will work more efficiently for a short period of time, but lose a little of its life force. To whack a unit, right-click it. Okay. Well, that's reminiscent of Dungeon Keeper. Smacking your guys, they can hurt them a little bit, and they work a little harder for a little while. Just like guys in Dungeon Keeper, guys that were training, you could smack them and they would train harder for a little bit. Kind of liking it. What, do we need a bigger treasure room? Is this one full? Yeah, it's a little bit too big. So let's go into treasury and let's make it bigger. Even though it didn't tell us to. I don't want them running all the way up there to put gold. Put it in there.
However, the absurd evil was still hesitating. Alcohol? Consumed in the dungeon? Would
Crime
that
rate.
increase the crime rate? Of course not. There's no such thing in this game.
The narrator has already sold me.
There was now an area cleared for the brewery site, and with quick finger snaps from the hand of terror, the room stood ready.
Production facilities, and then brewery.
Excellent. but the recently built brewery lacked a brewing copper. With a sigh of resignation, the overworked evil set about taking care of that too.
Something tells me you click it. Oh, build a brew kettle. And it tells you right up here, put a brew kettle in the brewery. I want to put it right there on the edge. That way, if I have to, I can just take out 3 walls and put another one.
Copper, so that delicious beer could be brewed as soon as possible. One of the little snots started working on the brewing copper.
Oh, look at him.
The nostalgic evil banished all thoughts of Oktoberfest and brass bands. Those would have to wait. More important tasks had to be completed first. Both
Efficiency of rooms. Rooms have an efficiency rating that shows how well work can be performed inside. You should try to ensure that a room is surrounded by walls as far as possible and that they have ideally also been upgraded. Pro tip, efficiency can be increased even beyond 100%.
beer and gold were now available in the dungeon. So it was time to hire some creatures to defend against greedy heroes or whatever else
there's the
snuck
efficiency
around
bar.
on the ground. At present, it was only simple orcs declaring undying loyalty to the ultimate evil. The rest of the horde was scattered to the winds.
All right, 0 of 5 orcs. I guess as we brew barrels, the orcs will migrate to us. I don't know where they migrate from, but these look like those permanent nodes. There's 2 of them up there. Oh, I see. So let's see. Phil, let's go back up here. There we go. Hire an orc. Orcs. Now that's wasn't very intuitive. It didn't tell me what I needed to do that. But I mean, come on. Hire 0 of 5 orcs. He told me I needed to get 5 orcs. How did we get the squirts? We clicked on the throne room. Okay. Orcs are strong melee fighters. When they are not attacking opponents in a blind rage, you will find them encouraging the rest of the creatures in your dungeon to work faster. I like it. All right, I need 350 gold and 2 population points. So 1,
Orcs were defensive
2.
close combat specialists.
Oh, you got to wait. It's got to cool
capable of
down.
dealing with many opponents. However, they were very vulnerable to ranged attacks.
All right, so orcs are weak against archers. Look at him go start drinking some. Give me some beer. Oh, what's he doing? All right, I can't. Can you rotate at all? You can zoom in. Right click does, holding it does little and nothing. Left click and holding it's just that whole dig thing. Oh, he's fortifying the wall. All right, let's click back up here and get another orc.
It's payday. An eerie gong rang through the halls. It did not bode well for the ultimate evil's treasury stock.
Okay, so he went and got some
For
gold.
each sounding of the gong, the creatures would collect their undeserved wages. However, there was little it could do about this, as it was chained to the throne. Thus, it had to give free rein to its servants' desires. For the time being, at least.
Okay, now we got 2 of them working on the walls. Here comes the 3rd. I'm really kind of digging. Oh, what's that, like a training room? It doesn't really tell you. I guess because I haven't went in there yet. But it looks like it. That's a pretty cool looking device. If that's the training room, that's going to be awesome. I'm going to get this task. 4 have completed. And then right before I click the 5th, and then we're going to end the episode. And then we will continue. I got to go back up here. Let's get another one. And then another 20 seconds.
One of the repellent evil servants became very thirsty. This was typical of a troop member of the unanonymous alcoholics known as the Horde. The Dipso made his way to the nearest brewery to quench his thirst. A thirsty orc arrived at the brewery. Eager and slavering, he started demolishing the alcohol-hoarding evil's stock of beer.
I got 5 of 8. We're okay. Oh, I guess you can have multiple brewery thingies in this also, where we've only got one, and one guy working it. There he goes, he's making it. You could build another one in this room. You can have up to 3 effectively in each room. That's cool. All right, let's go up here. We got 4, and let's hit escape. We're ready to summon our 5th. All right, guys, give me an honest take. What do you think about the game so far? Are you enjoying it? Because I am. If you're not, let me know that also. If you disagree with my, consensus about the reviewers and stuff, let me know. Whatever, you know how I am. If you got something to say, say it. If you don't, click the thumbs up and drive on to the next episode. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you have, please like, comment, subscribe, and we will be back in the next episode to continue on. Have a great day.